The film opens with a brief backstory explaining how a race of intelligent aliens called the Oyan, having lost their home planet, were forced to resettle on Earth. This soon sparked armed conflicts with humans over territory, and the rise of pro-Oyan terrorists. Particularly dangerous criminals were exiled by the government to a distant, abandoned prison planet in the Capellana star system. An elderly man named Theodore has been serving his life sentence here for many years, toiling in the mines. Every day, he is tasked with extracting ore and sending it via a special device to an orbital satellite, from where it is then delivered to Earth. After a grueling day, Theodore, as usual, records his thoughts in a diary filled with longing for his beloved wife, Mona, and distracts himself by watching sitcoms. Loud music helps him cope with a strange inhabitant of this hostile planet, a sentient purple gas cloud that often appears at night. By its whim, he is forced to listen to voices that endlessly repeat how worthless he is. On top of that, Theodore suffers from severe coughing, and one day, his implanted biomonitor alerts him that he is terminally ill. Shocked, he immediately removes the device to silence it and buries it in the ground. Sometime later, a capsule lands on the planet carrying another prisoner. Driven by curiosity, Theodore sneaks closer and overhears the newcomer speaking to her virtual assistant. The AI, named Janie, informs her that the previous inmate's biomonitor shows no signs of life, but the satellite is still receiving ore, meaning she may have to investigate, or even kill him. Returning to his quarters, Theodore grows increasingly anxious. Unable to passively wait for death, he approaches the capsule and steals the prisoner's diary. Inside is a photograph of a young girl hugging an alien, with all notes written in the Oyan language. Only the final line, "To hell with humanity," reveals the author's hatred toward humans. The story then shifts to the perspective of the girl, Nia. After landing, she first steps outside to survey her surroundings, but the planet's low oxygen forces her back into the capsule. Vivid memories of her recent arrest on Earth only intensify her anxiety. The virtual assistant immediately began sharing an observation report, warning that the previous prisoner was still alive. On hearing this, Nia suggested killing him. Theodore overheard these words. However, when he fled, he didn't hear the AI advise the girl to stay away from him, since he would soon die from his illness anyway. That night, Nia couldn't sleep and heard Theodore sneaking into the capsule. After his first day in the mines, she noticed her diary was missing. That same evening, gathering her courage with a knife, she broke into the old man's quarters, retrieved her stolen diary, and threatened Theodore not to come near her again. After she left, Theodore reflected that she could have killed him but didn't, which meant there was a chance for them to become friends. The next evening, he approached Nia to talk about Earth, but she was hostile. When she heard him mention strange voices, she assumed he had gone mad from long years of isolation and cut the conversation short. During the day, while sending ore, Theodore tried again to speak with her. This time, Nia softened slightly and even made a small joke about humans' old habit of watching TV. That night, she complained to Janie about struggling to adapt to the planet's 14-hour days and admitted that wishing death upon a dying old man was morally wrong. The next morning, she found an invitation to dinner left on her vehicle and, despite her fears, decided to accept it. Theodore meticulously prepared for the guest. He cooked dinner and even retrieved some whiskey he had saved for a special occasion. Over a glass each, he first warned her that the alien gas watched them at night and that it was crucial to guard their thoughts, as the gas could use them against them. He then asked Nia about her diary being an Oyan and learned that her adoptive mother had been an alien. She had found Nia as an infant on the Black Sea coast and raised her in a refugee camp for aliens as her own daughter. Theodore attempted to demonstrate a few phrases in Oyan but couldn't recall where he had learned them or if he had ever visited such a settlement, which irritated Nia. Wanting to change the subject, she asked him about his wife, and he said he missed her deeply. He revealed he had been sent to this planet after being framed for killing his wife's colleague. Nia, in turn, explained that she had been punished for planning the assassination of a prime minister who advocated exterminating aliens. Later, the two smoked a joint, and Theodore admitted that speaking with a real human had awakened long-forgotten memories. When he went to fetch water for tea, the mysterious purple gas rushed toward him. Somehow, it forced him to remember everything he had tried to forget, triggering a panic attack. Concerned, Nia tried to calm him, when suddenly Theodore exclaimed that Theodore was not his real name. He had not wanted to be who he was and had changed his name to escape his past. To distract himself, he asked Nia to talk about herself. She explained that she had been adopted by humans and sent to school, and that her Oyan adoptive mother had been killed, along with other aliens during the war. In the end, they agreed to avoid unpleasant topics and watched a comedy series. As Nia prepared to leave, Theodore revealed his true name, Nathan. The revelations awakened painful memories in Nia, recalling how a man named Nathan Flanagan had killed the entire family of aliens who once saved her life. Barely holding back, she tried to get more information from Janie, but the AI had no access to those details. Determined, Nia invited the old man over. As soon as he arrived, she showed him photos of the Black Sea and the Oyan settlement, hoping he would remember something. But Nathan, acting as if nothing were wrong, insisted he was Theodore and had never been there. Losing patience, Nia asked directly if he had served in the military. Theodore replied that he didn't remember and that it didn't matter on this prison planet. Nia said she wanted to understand who she'd be stuck with, then pointed out that he had been imprisoned for murder and that the authorities rarely made mistakes. Was the old man hiding that he had killed his wife's lover? Angered by her accusations, Theodore pushed Nia away and returned home. Once he left, the purple mist approached Nia, transmitting Theodore's thoughts to her. She clearly heard his voice saying that those parasites, all of them, deserved to die. Meanwhile, Theodore tried to convince himself he wasn't the killer she accused him of being. Suddenly, he saw an image of his wife, reminding him that the second prisoner was a terrorist and that he knew what he had to do. At dawn, Theodore ambushed Nia, begging her to listen, but she fought back and fled to his home to set up an ambush. When Theodore came for her, she threatened him with a knife and lost control. She screamed at him, accusing him of killing 7 Oyans and knowing their language because he was a war criminal. Theodore denied all accusations, and Nia revealed that she had heard his thoughts through the mist. Vague memories began surfacing in his mind. He grabbed Nia, urging her to calm down and listen, but she pushed him away and ran. Soon, she found an old capsule of a former prisoner and climbed inside. The purple mist enveloped Theodore, and he finally remembered killing his wife after catching her with her lover. A little later, Theodore discovered Nia's hiding place, but she caught him off guard, beating him while demanding that he remember and confess to murdering her family. Not receiving a response, she angrily left the abandoned capsule, unaware of the inscription on the wall. "They are all trash and deserve to die." Those words had belonged to the long-dead prisoner, but the purple mist had presented them to Nia as Theodore's thoughts. The next morning, Nia transported the beaten Theodore back to his home. In the evening, while flipping through a diary, she noticed the hateful name, Nathan, written on its pages. Suddenly, the mysterious mist filled her house, whispering that she was pathetic, vengeful, useless, unloved by her adoptive mother, and to blame for everything. Through tears, Nia resisted the thoughts, and the mist dispersed. Realizing that Theodore might have been right and that the voices were tricks of the purple gas, she went to him. He confirmed her suspicion, admitting that sometimes he hears the previous prisoner's thoughts in his head. Theodore finally remembered that a neighbor had taught him the Oyan language, while Mona cheated on him. Nia began to cry and confessed that she had always wanted to escape the petty emotions of humans and break free from the system. Theodore offered to help. He suggested that she give him her biomonitor, and when he died, they could claim it as hers. That way, she would gain freedom and no longer have to work in the mines. The story ends with Nia removing her biomonitor and giving it to Theodore. When the old man dies, she remains the sole inhabitant of the quiet planet. And here, even more stories await. Subscribe, because it's fascinating with us. See you soon.